If you're trying to start, let's say like a YouTube channel, or if you're trying to start like a business or something like that, it is absolutely imperative that you have blind faith in yourself. A lot of times we'll have faith in ourselves if somebody else, like if a third party, has faith in you. So for example, let's just say if I didn't naturally believe in myself and my ability, but then my cousin said, Tony, you got this, man. You can do this. See, that's me having faith, but that's not blind faith. Blind faith is going to be you going into the unknown. That was just regular faith that you had in your cousin, and your cousin had faith in you. And nothing wrong with that. But blind faith means that you absolutely trust the universe and all the powers that be. And that also lets the universe know that you do trust yourself. Because if you can bet on yourself, nothing can really hurt you. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Mindset Master Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Reed, and I'm also the proprietor of the podcast. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about a few examples of blind faith. So if you want to learn more about achieving the things that you want to achieve out of life based off you having faith in yourself, stay tuned to the end of this episode. Let me get started off by talking about what exactly is blind faith. Blind faith is going to be that feeling that you have in your heart, that you have in your chest, that you can do something. So let me give an example. Let's just say if you were a high school student and you went out for the football team. You know you're a really good football player. You know this without a shadow of a doubt. You go out for the football team. You don't even have to think about whether or not you made the team or not, solely based upon your resilience in football. So when you get that call that next week from the coach, hey man, you just made the team. See, you would have already known that you would have made the team. You didn't even have to think, I wonder, did I make the team? You knew you made the team. Why did you know that you made the team? Because you had blind faith. See, blind faith, it could be subconsciously or it could be consciously. It doesn't necessarily matter how you conjure up blind faith. Blind faith is going to be the absolute best way to help you achieve the things that you want out of life. If you don't have faith in yourself, I guarantee you whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in life, or whatever goal or whatnot you're trying to achieve, if you don't have faith in yourself, you're not going to really be able to achieve that goal. You may get some variation of that goal, but in order for you to realistically achieve the goal that you are set out to achieve, you have to have blind faith. Let me give an example of something with me in my life with blind faith. When I first met my wife, how I met her, somebody broke into my house, cleaned me out, and left me with nothing basically, except for the clothes I had on my back that day. I went out to the local mall. I seen this girl in the store, and she was dressed in the little mannequins and stuff like that. And I was like, man, that's gonna be my wife. I don't even know this girl. I don't even know if she's married. I don't know her situation. I don't know anything about this lady, but all that I know is she's gonna be mine. I saw her, me and my wife, we made eye contact, and I walked into the store, and 12 years later, here we are, still happily married. See, that was blind faith. And see, if you're trying to start, let's say like a YouTube channel, or if you're trying to start like a business or something like that, it is absolutely imperative that you have blind faith in yourself. A lot of times we'll have faith in ourselves if somebody else, like if a third party, has faith in you. So for example, let's just say if I didn't naturally believe in myself and my ability, but then my cousin said, Tony, you got this, man. You can do this. See, that's me having faith, but that's not blind faith. Blind faith is going to be you going into the unknown. That was just regular faith that you had in your cousin, and your cousin had faith in you. And nothing wrong with that. But blind faith means that you absolutely trust the universe and all the powers that be. And that also lets the universe know that you do trust yourself. Because if you can bet on yourself, nothing can really hurt you. Because that is the best thing to bet on, is going to be you. You as a person is going to be the absolute best investment that you can make in the whole universe. Investing in yourself. I'm not talking about going out buying Lambos, and I'm not talking about stuff like that. I'm talking about really investing in your thought process, in your mind, in your noodle, really investing in your growth as a human being. That's where that blind faith comes in at. Because if you have blind faith, I guarantee you can walk through any corridor and know that you will come out unscathed on the other side. And so let me give you another example about blind faith. Some of you may or may not know that I used to write movies in Hollywood. So I left here in Tennessee and I went out to the West Coast, me and my wife, and we lived out there. I knew that this was long before I even thought about anything with like YouTube or anything about my podcast. I left Tennessee, my home state, to go out to the West Coast to pursue a dream that I had. I had faith, but I didn't have blind faith. See, all of my friends who used to read my material back in high school and back in Barber College and when I went to Tennessee State, all of those good people would say, Tony, man, you ought to be a writer one day. I told myself, I was like, man, you know what? Everybody keeps saying I can do this. I can do it. But again, it wasn't blind faith. It was just regular faith. So once that opportunity came around and Tennessee, sold my house, me and my wife moved out to the West Coast to start a brand new life, nobody really told me how good I was on the West Coast. Back home in the South here, everybody told me how good I was with my writing ability. But when I got out there to the West Coast, all those other good screenwriters and storytellers and stuff like that, nobody told me, Tony, man, this is the best script I had ever read. Nobody told me that. So I started losing faith in myself because I didn't have that support system pushing behind me on the West Coast like I had right here in Tennessee. I didn't have that out there. So I don't know what I was thinking about, but for some reason I just lost my head, so to speak, and didn't really have a good faith connection with myself because I didn't have people whispering in my ear. I didn't need regular faith. What I needed blind faith, because I guarantee you, if I would have had blind faith in myself, I would have made something out of myself in the movie career industry. But I only knew I can do it because of based upon what my friends and relatives and stuff like that have been telling me about my writing and my creative ability. If you like this episode today thus far, please press that like and subscribe button for me. If you want to start a business or whatever you want to do, let's just use this example of starting a business. If you want to start a business, then you have to have blind faith that whatever product or whatever service that you have or that you are selling is going to be good enough for people to patronize your business. But if you sit back and be like, man, you know what, man, ain't nobody gonna buy these little cookies that I'm making, then nobody's going to patronize your business. You cannot get mad at the next person who's having massive success in his, her, or their business because you didn't have blind faith like that other individual had blind faith. Blind faith cures everything. If you have blind faith, that means that you fully trust in yourself, you fully trust in the universe, you fully trust in the powers that be. See, all of those players come together to make life happen for you. But the thing is, most individuals don't have that blind faith in life to know that whatever they encounter, they can come out on the other side the victor. Never have more faith in somebody else than you have in yourself. And that about wraps it up for today's episode. Until next time, I'll catch you later.